Well, my memoir Jonah Menka said Medawasi P, so I just say you may over here a Agradaa on Adom TV, multi TV. So, but the one in the club Nasante, and da etoso edumi and so October bosominim, and the focus of our discussion, the New Patriotic Party for one manifesto no change an agenda for jobs, creating prosperity and equal opportunity for all. And no home komo ana yebedi ma yeko try homra yaba. Me just so I can yankomo no. Ye de hihye so a ene sa yekwaba. Okay, so I said medical there to him say na komodieni nyina the New Patriotic Party one manifesto one pa hon tuma na no da e wo trade fair hon komo pa ana ebedi meje de say brebebem ama won so awohwe no watime de wadwentoa abeka dwumedi no Agradaa ama bibia timi akosme. Ogofu akwaba eje se bia kama
me just so bro hene no
party mboko de
oh Adom nem
good ye be kwa check here facts na ba said you see them no obetina haka asem ni wie pe da sene no ne yakodo sodoso mu ahwe yasem no aka no ne sibre ba bia no kreda ba bia sintowo ba bia nkontompo so wo ne nyina ne de atodwama wona ehwe no ehwo se aha de ye mekasa emfa ye ho eni sa ye kwaba ye ba after the fact checks. Now we'll move into the New Patriotic Party on the manifesto now on the Abatujano. Change an agenda for jobs, creating prosperity and equal opportunity for all. Yakwaba.
Since Teta Kwashide Koko, the free Fernando Po, a bank Ghana 130 years, in until 1 million metric tons. So 2010, 2011, yet. As I said, the cocoa, 1.7 million hectares, and a big cocoa Ghana. Côte d'Ivoire 1.7 million hectares. They did cocoa or Côte d'Ivoire. Because a single sourced $150 million, and I bet it's or the cocoa rose a future. The last 2 years, no. I buy 2 years ago, almost grant no free.
Oh, they say the cocoa be say any.
And American say they say Solent shoot Western region, Brownhalf region, a unity. Now Solent shoot within 3-4 years. A bit my wipe out the whole cocoa industry. This
okay, Mr. Abba.
You should go to look. I go about for crown packaging, packaging contract. It is done at highways and feeder road.
Cocoa Rose.
Cocoa Rose.
Okay, Mr. Abba.
Highways.
But we'll check that.
Any feeder road.
mostly.
There have been only one format since Kwame Nkrumah time. Abambi a wabetra akonwa so bia no ne time ye twakoko boa the same format President Kufuor ye no. It's based on net FOB. So net FOB no and President Kufuor used to 2001, 2002, 2003 up to 2008. Until 2004, 2004, 2005, 2005, 2006. Amount to go. Now 1 ton, I had 900 Ghana cedis, 900 Ghana cedis, 900 Ghana for 3 consecutive years.
Okay, so what now no that na a cocoa price increase abai we so there my oti in common course so na also one kasa will make you judgment out of the brass say you made it didn't come about the New Patriotic Party them for more them what achievement here my chairman there's a magic over there I tell my viewers much about them sakru no na me aduma ejwada rather obugofu Majumbi Bokode.
Papa.
New Patriotic Party Ejebo Ejabedu ya say change an agenda for jobs, creating prosperity and equal opportunity for all. As you say,
Mamema wahefo nyina adwo. Na nkancha sana na danko akufo ado hwe enwumre. Efise me kra ne semeba. Na agenda for change. I assume tia. Onipa bia wo na wasitinem na obobra se oman se ankorankore ehu behia se bra no obebu kompon na obehwe anamontu awutuo se nhihia awo ye dwumadi awudie enwie peyo na nso ani a osesa wonante osesa anamontuo enti bra na du se Ghana fo oman Ghana enyina adwen kobenkrom se nia NDC abaine President Mahammadu Omaya bidru ehu behia se ebesachirem mekai Professor Mills wanya ne baby kobra no obonto 2008 okwamenti fedo ose mu nsuro mu hinhim se mo beye nsachiraye mu nsesem munya kokodro na mu nsesem saasem na ne edika ne na editie edise sese ma Ghana 40 ase se baby aye dro no yentimi nya de kroda ye ne daada no ne da wonti ohaw ne amane hunu enu nti New Patriotic Party yakwa aginatuo no ene abrewa akokasa aye no na hu behia se yakwa abatro no ye ne Ghana fo beto kese itina na adoda kwa kufu ado na no kwasi ada twedi ampodum ya yeshi aye no oka kire Ghana man se we a social contract eye anamontuo kese de say abasakom bia na ban daachie ba ni mu yen ene Ghana fotro na wakuchiri ni a nani so ade hunu ne hihye bia wowe so ya ka ne se Ghana fo be hunu mobo na ombete asemase na ombeto aba ne de ama ono na nadoda nkwa akufo ado any New Patriotic Party parliamentary candidates ni nara na yebekwa aba mu na ya hihye papa enuti uhwe ya na agenda for jobs
okay
ye kenyina de ye akwakosie kowie nyina no ne nyina so potene se nyuma beba o manum na mabunu bekantre won ho no be adwuma na yetimi atua to se de se fata abotonu mu betimi atua na yegige sa kakra na yahwesu yie ne de aye ne a ese fata na ye de aboa afoforo me na no me kwa brochi mamu kane na me ka se edan ne akwan no nko a na efe nanso mihunu se oman ni mo ofe kopim se imabunu a asiso a oman ne daachi 17 18 19 20 years 21 years for man memu a wobruchi mamu woni gi na wo ahotoso no wani daso enti wanim sere onsuku kom won adwuma pemuni ade ni nyinara ɛno na ma ɔman no mu yɛ fɛ ɛno na ma ɔman no mu yɛ akɔnɔ ɛno ana kyerɛ sɛ ɔman no wɔ daakye na sɛ yɛbɛtena Ghana na yɛte ɔman na abofra 14 years 13 years ɔfa homa de sɔ no kɔn kɔpem sɛ oni ani daasoɔ yɛte ɔman mu na sɛbi owuo daafoɔ nti na agyanka kunafoɔ mɔbrɔwa nkɔda yɛde agya no na ontimi nhwɛ wɔn sukuu na mpo sɛ ayarehwɛ mu kura na ayɛ dena ma wɔn na adidie mu ayɛ dena ma wɔn ɛba ne saa bɛdɛ na ɔman no ayɛ nika bɛdɛ na ɔman no anya daakye nti nkɔda a aduru wɔn fie soɔ 18-19 years foɔ afei ne a mɔba bɛto aba no mo manifesto ni mani daasoɔ ni ɔman no hyehyɛ ne ɔman no kankorɔ ɛyɛ ade a ɛsɛ sɛ yɛn mpanifo a na Danko Akufo-Addo wodi yɛ nimu yi na niso ade hunu ɛsɛ sɛ bɛm enti ama foforɔ so sɛ mpanini tumi yɛ hyehyɛ ama mabunu nya ahotɔsoɔ na wɔani gye sɛ ɔman no yɛ wɔn de ade a ɛne na saa na yɛ manifesto yi yɛsusu.
Okay, so remember what's new, but probably better portions of a manifesto no the eka oko natural resources, land, forestry and mining. I'll say the country is richly endowed with natural resources like fertile lands, lakes, rivers, forest, wildlife, fish, and minerals which are vital for its development. The NPP policy on forestry resources will seek to rehabilitate degraded forest reserve areas through planting of fast-growing indigenous and exotic species, conservation, sustainable use of natural resources, support conservation and biodiversity. And again, you're emphatic. One, that's A. We will target annually 30,000 hectares of degraded areas within and outside forest reserves for reforestation and plantation development. Support the annual establishment of 1,000 hectares of bamboo and rattan plantation, and will encourage individuals and private sector involvement through the provision of subsidized planting materials. Support the enhancement of the ecotourism industry, and then again, comprehensively protect our water catchment areas through the Clean Rivers Program, CRP. And then E, commit to ensuring that turnaround time for land registration is reduced to 30 working days. F, ensuring that mineral revenues are efficiently managed for the benefit of Ghanaians. The NPP will enact a consolidated mineral revenue management law similar to the Petroleum Revenue Management Act to guide the use of mineral revenues in strategic sectors of our economy. And then on G, reconstruct the small-scale mining industry so that its activities can take places within guidelines set up under the appropriate regulations. This will enable small-scale miners to work and earn their livelihoods in a regulated, secure, and lawful environment. So in this case, probably land, forestry, and mining, the métiers amongst the lot of can say regularization of galamsey adwuma a part of Moshishe. Is that the case?
Nyamini ne pe ni mini. Se omen bia se obetumpon. Na obeye mpuntu dwuma na ne wire befi oba de bobre. Na hyase ne atwa ye ho ahia ene na kyese ye bregu. Ya ye kyerɛ sɛ national economy ne fapem ne fareba nyina ne asase-tam a yɛte so yi ɛyɛ nsuwansuwa de brɔfo kasɛm yɛfrɛ no biophysical environment yɛwɔ nsuwansuwa ɛyɛ de friend sɛ aquatic or marine environment ane yɛwɔ asase-tam yɛfrɛ no terrestrial ecosystem ane yɛwɔ ewiem yɛfrɛ no atmospheric ecosystem na ne nyinaa mu no nkwayɛ ane nsuo a deda nsutine deda kwaye mu a emayen nsupanom emayen nwene na afe emayen ewiem wirududu yo na ewiem nsakyeraye ha adwene na egu kuadwuma na egu nipa asetena mu apomuden ho nhyehyɛ nti kwaye ne saa obaade bobre na asɛm de yɛto na jeje mu sɛnea abɛn ba ye fie nkunu ni yatoto na jeje mu dia ene na ye ni so ade hunu se ye ko ye nim na ye develop na be dene ebi so hwe tro konkru no ma Genesis chapter 20 woko wani mu ba no ebra onyankopɔn bɔ ade nyina wie ye no na ohunu se de wabɔ nyina efe na obɔ nipa dasani Adam to edin tro no mu no ɔka kyerɛ no ɔhyɛ ne se tutu niama nyina dini na diso na hweso na ye ne yie ɔse take dominion over all these things natural resources enti adwuma a onyame de ma onipa dasani wa asase so a edi kan enye teacher die enye hospital enye doctor adwuma enye wonsenkyere adwuma nemum natural resources management se obetutu nwie no ma nam wie mu dini obetutu mpata e wonsuo mu dini nwia ne niema domankoma aka ba ade abobre na kasa na ne ko ho na ba ne sen ana ne yatena ho ama fufu ada ye kwaye.
But the question is, how do you regularize galamsey? Because it's an illegal business. What's it going to be like? I want to person here.
The ya na ye kane ma fra no na ha ye. Galamsey a ya to dini a ye se ye illegal. Ye wade bi friend small scale mining. Mining adwuma nkuma nketenketi mu small scale enye friend entiamra ewo mrem na small scale no ye twitwa nsase ne 25 acres your friend of blocks enti se kwabna Asante Company Limited wo waje onkrata registrar general wa register Minerals Commission na Minerals Commission ahwe nsase a ye twitwa ato 25 acres na ye yimu ba akon de maw na ukoye wo small scale mining wo so a ye susu se emre wo ho asesa wo de ye adwuma no eno ane friend regularization no eno na wo kwabna Asante Company Limited wo no adwuma efo yen aban andana na danko akufo ado be yen hihye de wafa nkyerkyerem ebi kura na adwuma no hunim de kura na eswa na kwa be so afemfidi ade ye adwuma ebeboa asase na nkasa na wuwie ekwan abefa so asase ne ebesan age ne biewuo ne adua so no bae ne nnua ma na gina ne na so biewuo no ye do befa san hihye enum na ekoba se ye ma 25 acres na yeso adwuma wi a umfa kwati kwan nkonkonko ye another de danche bi a enka ho bibiewo afese nsuansu aso da ho ba bia wasase no wo kwa be na wo fa so aye adwuma na abra enko kansuo no na enko sensuo no na afe ama oman na kuro na mantam na yeso adwuma no ho fa so be na mantam no so ebenya de friend social responsibility agreement no enunti se yesese ni bibia environmental impact assessment ewo 25 acres block na de ma wo no na ye friend say assessment ewo niema ewo so no bae ne ade ewira na ewo so dada moadom ewo so ye wie ni nyina ne yesese ho ka se uwie na wo san de aba be hye obehya nan ne bi ebe costo kasamu bi a 1 million Ghana cedis eno no ansa na abehye odwumadi ase ne mra kire se fasika 1 million no deposit no fakoto etu uwie na wo de esesa wo ye dudura so ye ni nyina wie wo ye wie a obeje 1 million se wo wie na se wa anyo na utu udwane na wo koja ho a ye de sa 1 million no ye de abekura ni nyina kama na afi ye hunu ana bio enam se ye hu wo mu na nkwada no ne memo anu ye di sienti no na akoba se onhunim de anu sa enu nti ubeti ye sinipa bi akoka amenam wo mawu ebeti ye si amena daho obi akwakotom ni nyina ya de a ahomete kwaye mu a ye wia ye ho ekọ ne ekoye sa adwuma no emra makwan enu nti bebi amra makwan na wiye yeye eno ana ye kan ye gina so akasa adwuma eboa ema afoforo so nsakọ ano enu nti aban nyini se aban a andana na danko kufuado eba beka se dabi mo amoye sa adwuma ni nyina ya pam obi a
me galamsey ni na me hwe onyi what's the assurance that uba adwuma is still intact
wadwuma ewo ho efise emra no ne ade na ye adwuma no ewo ho ye be kirew amo adi mra no so ye be show kutupa ni ama mfidie ene hu nimdeɛ niema ɛwɔ nkwaha maha nsiha yewe wudi ni nyinaa so pepepe a wadwuma wɔ hɔ ne ɔno wɔyɛ doctor asisi a hu ni so ɔyɛ adwuma wɔ hospital G no ɔno wɔyɛ adwuma fi sɛ ɔyɛ adwuma no wɔ ne kwan so
ma menti mo wase nti mode hyehyɛ begu akwam a ɛne sɛ me galamsey ni a saa hyehyɛ na mode gu akwam no ɛbɛboa ma metima yɛ adwuma na mu ɛsɛ sɛ biribi ada no megya machi yi ya na tia na
sa pepepepe
ɛno mode sikasoro bi betum so ana mode asotwe bi betum so ana mode ehu bi betum so ana bambo be na mode gyina so sɛ ɛne sɛ kwabna yɛ galamsey a membu and the new patriotic party no ye ma on hyehyɛ a sɛ eka bia na sɛ space bia de ma obia no sɛ udi hu dwuma na de sɛ fata sɛ wo ye ka dwumadi a wodi ye hye oketi amwai how are you going to do that what is your for be hunu mo be adwuma boy ana sɛ mo gye sika so be ma nipa dodo na free galamsey adwuma ni mana
oh there be said anu ye wo hwɛ ya fie mienu fie miensa aban na people bribri ye krofo esu kasensase se suo se abed mate task force then ma sojafoɔ na kri ni ye gye krofo gold ni krofo sika Miami chairman chairman Bernard Chibu Asiako Asante regional chairman wontumi or your victim in fidie
was doing an illegal business
dabi na nkrata wo ho na enam se ya kani nyina afra ye hunu nia oye adwuma no nkrata wo ho ene nia ono nso so 7 preduasa oye nia enimra edi asie enu nti na ye kan regulation no enti se kwabnei wo nkrata Minerals Commission the amount 25 acre block yi na wo yeso adwuma ntraha nkwaha nsensue nyewe be wan na wo asem Ghana ni ye wo dia wo ye adwuma na watua to amoman ana mantam no so a wo ye adwuma wo mu no memo anu bia nya adwuma ye you see bibia ye bia ye adwene ese adwene nipa no ho the safety enuanum na ehwe ye no mu yesa enwuma no mbeka no kra kire se kyese wo nkwa ehu na ye bepese onipa be ye adwuma didi na ode ahwe ne yire ne ne ma na ne nkwa wo ho da ma wo man no enyese ko di hu ko ye adwuma na unya kapre ne ochina beko no amabie na wagya wachi basa oyira yikunafo o maye nyanka nye no ne ye patie ye adwuma no se ne se fata na mre wo ho safety situation ye de aban nan kasa ye hihya amantete ebi se ye minerals commission officers ewo districts ahodom dunkwa bi o konowu bi o ye ya ban ne bebo modern se be biara gold adwuma ye adwuma biara ese minerals commission nya sa offices no enye so offices no ho kwa ye ma kwanya manipa nya mra won chen magi nhunumu na won so nko nipa ne chen ewo ba bi o mu ye nwuma no ma won kyerɛkyerɛ na onu oni kese na nye se wo ye adwuma na yesi sojafo task force ho ahwa yete ye mem yete ha ana China fo abegye adwuma yafa ama Ghana fo ensa asifom.
Okay, so there's an assurance there in terms of Galamsey.
Yeah, now, but win him. You are your friend. Local participation, local content law. It is over fango tiomu or your negasi adwuma ya hyehyɛ mrebi a your friend local content and participation law. Ghana for track and say the womb. Ghana for ye die woman ne de he. Eno na danko Akufo-Addo aban ebe ye bi dia masa mineral dwuman gold tutuo ni ade eba ye nyene nanso ye nsede nim rapporting se adwuman de wo gold mu adwuma mu tuo se diamond ye jama Ghana fo nko a kokokum sei na mpo se okra wunia no firi baabi na eba na wudu sika odwetire ba se Ghana ni hia wo na anya hwe kra 10% dwetire wode ba ne de se Ghana ni ne timinya na adwuma no ye chichemu duru nti sa galamsey ya yakan small scale reserved for the indigenous people, the ordinary Ghanaian. When broni maya na etu ye gold dadai broni maya se na etu ye gold that the so ne akumeyen na ne nananum de too good me na kwamna okofu. Okay,
so in effect the new patriotic party be ya say bambo sunko beba galamsey adwuma ye fo no ho na wona di ehihye a modi beto as a government.
Well, the dika ombenya adwuma ye anya sika to so bie
Okay,
but who do on safety?
But probably still under natural resources, land, forestry, and mining. It comes across as quite point E, commit to ensuring that turnaround time for land registration is reduced to 30 working days. Hey, as I'm saying, but meaning some way aware say lands and natural resources ministry, one actually maybe with lands commission say regulate delays even probably in your case land administrative projects the money more buy more decision by some creating land banks na ma bomodia computerizing all land property documents. It was not done. Now in this case the challenge we have as a country, your data homes and same in crata homes and same your all these challenges, but you are so bold to fix this in your manifesto. Commit to ensuring that turnaround time for land registration is reduced to 30 working days. Honorable Kokofu, New Patriotic Party.
Yeah, waka. Nemo baby kakra bi na ayoye o atosi ni kakra. Na wo ka say ye de hihye ne ba ya anyo. Dabi land administration project no. The kind first phase no. Eno ye penso ye hwe man hihye ni nyina ba. Sisi am no ka say lap 2 muni away since 2009 aben bae ehihye wo ho ese kaba na ye duru baby a ehihye duru ho na intimi nuye eye me committee lands and forestry ye committee adwuma ne dua me no ka say wo parliament public accounts committee e de won hihye no wa de won hwehwemu ni ade bae kamia kwakoye se dwumadie no a esese yetimi hwe ne yedie wo ho no nyade a awie peyo ni nyina fareba ene aban ho keka aban commitment a owo se ebehwe na dwume awie mamenka fa emwa se land commission fo ayebi o matu anamo ene o ma yen hihye se ka kudru land commission within a year na no wasase we kwa ha we tempa na paper nanso enya nwie peyo sikasem on the beye adwuma ya de ho asmedene afini duru na budget ya yibetwa de ama the whole ministry na sector agencies to sell lands commission on sabeka won de beye adwuma no yitwamu se hu kakra nso e beka se de ma won so se ye ni no onsankan enti lack of funds ya de a ha adwene ye bio esese ye ma ye ni ko ho se aban na yesi gina ye na ye de ye na si form se ye pewe ama ye manfo me ne wo kasa sisi se wo kɔ Ghana ye kɔto ahodo ansase ho nsɛm dɔso kyɛ mansun biara na kyɛ sɛ edu ba bia na ani wu mpo asase baako na we kura ho nkrata na asemasi kura nkrata obi nkrata ye 1901 obi de ye 1995 obi 2007 se twa a kyɛ sɛ emmoa emma adwuma ye nkoso won wo sika ede ba man mu adwetire de abeye adwuma asase ne yeso adwuma enti se manso ne asase wuranom ne asase ton ne asase de ma na ehun emu na ho a ebowon asan enmunti ye koye nimu no ye de ya hwehwe mu ahunu se eye Ghana fo dadwene eye ohaw mo man Ghana fo enunti ye pe kwampa si ano no manifesto of solutions senia ye hwe ne Ghana fo di nkuta ho no mu si ye hawni a na afi ya penepo masibre nti yaka e de asisu bia na kwamra Ghana fo hwe enyi ni I say ye wonim die no ana ye wo pepa no ana ye wo se aban na oba no omampani na oba na adodan kwakufu ado no enim nia ebeya ama ne mamfo enunti nya kinye bia ni ho eyade a nhihye no wo ho ye nyina de wo mu anu se ye kaja agumu wonim so okona maame ne no apito a na isija so na bewe na eja no mu ahunhan so ho na intimi mene ye nti se wo hwe na openi ye ade o ya nso kaja gum na udija no bi wurewure mu na fe edebrubru nti animra ho so na pito na bene na fe o ka hwe.
Okay, but you better about so interesting manifesto. The question is that probably lands, natural resources and forestry yeah, delve into it. A brain yes, so. And when they're but if you go through, for instance, education, most are emphatic on the restoration of a year allowances for a year, you can say, a teacher trainee. I'll say why. That's the last point. The New Patriotic Party will restore in full. Teacher trainee allowances. Now, under education still, encourage the colleges of education to update their curriculum to ensure its graduates are well equipped. And then we will also abolish the payment of utility bills by students. We will also increase the amount of loans under the student loan scheme and restructure to streamline its administration to enhance recovery of the loans. And then the book and research allowances for lecturers will be restored, and we'll establish a research fund to facilitate further research and innovation. And collaboration with the private sector, provide free Wi-Fi coverage for senior secondary and tertiary institutions nationwide dedicated to learning, administration, and enhancing the capacity to do research. Improve the facilities and the curriculum for ICT education at all levels or offices around. And then ensure proper decentralization of teachers' recruitment and other document processing activities. And then aggressively promote science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We shall put in place a program for the popularization and better teaching of the French language in our schools. And it continues, restore allowances to Arabic Islamic instructors and additionally support Arabic Islamic instructors with training and other incentives to motivate them to provide good training to our children. We also introduce Arabic as an optional language to be taught and examined at the JHS and SHS levels, provide sporting facilities and revive sporting competitions amongst schools. But of interest probably is that any political game more play one say the restoration in full of teacher trainee allowances, especially when you know this is 1, 2, 3 reasons in here. Honestly say allowance for teacher training. I was here withdraw. Why do you hammer this? When you know clearly what you and now it's part of the political advantage you want to take over this present administration, just to tell people that upon all the reasons of their man, because with that it's politically tainted to get the votes and come and give us excuses. Is that the case?
Could be your best yourself French Casa.
Yeah, French Casa
vocational and skill training. Yeah. Sanujuma. Now I say now the president say I feel or barrister and no one take. On car say teacher training allowance no barrister. Maybe so. President Chessy I say I feel the Bema. Now if we to no food say I didn't crash mrana so mu call woman so mu call tertiary no na migrate to ma call scheme ka mrana kra nya adwuma. Hwe you see ewiase ayewo o man you my way. Say utwa kontompo ma asafo ayira no pa. Dura na dwo beda abonten. Eye be de be ye. Sasa allowance aban ba na obeka se wayi allowance ye free ho. Fie mienu ni nkode ya ka wo se yemfo won call loan scheme so. Na omu ye tertiary nkode na asem ni ye tietia simple. Omu se sa tertiary yi na wo kana wo se yemfo yen course emra na de ye course na emra no enya nyi ho emra ni nya adwuma. And ye purely an act of illegality.
Which one is this?
What so do we call a friend is a loan scheme no so. Loan scheme no so say mra bi na bansa. No ma free wo mu gina bre no makọ pempenso prenso no prensa so no e tertiary no. Enya sa.
Correct.
Enti say mra ni nya maya oni so was also chinchina wo de ne koso na de na onkoji loan no nti watwa allowance no president say enumpo nkura so ntini abato abato no onya na yebeto yebegina so ato abama na nakufu ado a opene so na fe na de ebie enti wahu enye kasahunu yen hwehwemu de ani atofom hwe uye ma ya ne memu a wo mo sa teacher training ni nursing training dodo na nya awo sabe nimde akwa animu wo passes ni bebre na betimi de wo makọ universities ni ade na Sofia enyanti ebi a hochire bi wo nti na sa incentive wo ho na ebeboa ama won adisua ani on kankura aboa ni nti no na ene yesa agya bamti amakrum no ya no se ne afia ne mamfa nko teacher training college bi ne ka ma allowance besoso mu na nsoso akokra me ho yen ha me kokogu apasue na se na me ya adom na ewo na ye kari na minya kakra no nso me de ahwe nkuma ye wo akire abusua na adwen mpo no na ye de afia pene so ne ye de ne ko teacher training it is all ya ban now say ubenya sika de aye bas branding ubenya sika aye niema hodo a 7 preduasa emfam puntuo money pass tnem.
Why you have a problem with bas branding?
No papa sa ba na ne ba bontin say
sika say who say ne Ghana mpayfo ona be di o man so ona share so different from mokama abakosem e kai say intimate to sa abakosem no entwene enya ni so
no kura
enya wo
no kura de me kura de boy ka me ne senche na President Mahama no so aye friend say former president no tabase ho no oko na why mantem ha da nyina wodia bas ya ye ka twam ko nyina wodia ekwan ya bo fom ha nyina ka bibia wodia na ade be chi na nipa nyina ewu o man mu ko na aka wonko a wode be de bibia ye bia onipa da sani ni gina mfimfini onipa da sani asetena o man onipa da sani man enti se ye nyina ye susu se ye mfa mfonini nteta ba ase ho na enko na enya fefefe na nkwada esua homa epe kwan pa ba be ye adwuma de aboa wo man onko onkyere kom na onfa on yafunu pan esua de ye nyina ye sempa na da kwakufu adu hu ne saa New Patriotic Party ye ntiase saa ye dwene wo enye kopem se be ye se oman ye ho sua kwankro na kakra ye wo na oman ma a ye de daachi beja won adisua ne won eba be ye adwuma de aboa wo man na kakra ye de so asene na ma wani agidwumadi a wodie ho na no ye be ye free ho na mom ye betumi atenase akasa judgment debt any ho na any mramu na ni kwaso na no onipa dasani meje 51 million no nko ankodi yen kase ye kodua nua pebre na yen fa sika nko amantifedo na sa sika na ankodu ye nua yen kase ye yen confirm yen fa sika nko na sika no na ankodu na anu yen pia public interest accountability committee won amra ma won kwan so mu hwehwe ye fa nwu sika sem ho de ye de ye ne dwumadi adidie na anu mba abonten se ya kuchire gu nkrata so se ye de fa nwu sika ye nyuma ahodo wa amantifedo o mako chini tre northern regions ni nyina o mu hunu sa projects no na so wo sika na abese no sa kwan so na wo ka kire ye se teacher training no nursing training no on de on sem fata se o man no be so na sere no man be ma ne kapreba e abone ho bra na wagye afiri ni nsem a na nti ye na sa emra ne sesa na o man ne sesa na amamuo ne sesa na aban foforo ba bam na o se media matimu sufre na mahunu muhu hia ma o man eye mo na dachi no mo ba be som atichi na ma kira another president ne ministers ade eye mo ana se president for any ministers ne won ya shemra ne ade no o yare no obeda yare sabia eye mo na mo be kutikuta ye
okay on ko
enunti ye diska na be saba we nya ade a ya de tintini bia nti me na no president bo hu o ka sa afide o san de aba no kra me na emwanwa onte kwa na
I see
president so san de aba nkoda nso ye o man wo ho na aba foforo bi ba
Well, New Patriotic Party Manifesto in common at AD1, I'm sure so I carry up as Oka in common. It's last seminar on say a change, an agenda for jobs. No, I say boom, aba form, I say creating prosperity and equal opportunity for all. Yanko try a homebra, yaba, probably say brain my choir, yaba modia have under corruption, what omoka somebody, and then oko a tiffy man terms were. An issue of Northern Development Fund and the local governance. Now, New Patriotic Party is buying into, say, Ekoto Mensin Krachi for no, Ekoto on so, Aba. One I know they don't, and because this is not going to be, or this is probably not the first time on this Bosheno, and they are to Ghana for him. Yakwaba, Yaba, Yon Komodi, Akonya Omuswa, Onia Bechukum, Yakwaba. Yes, sir, but a very rapport up, quite interesting. A lot of text messages from across the length and breadth of the country and beyond. Ghana, Fadishamo, London, and US of A, Germany, Australia. Edamunyi Namase. This some of you very odd times. Bamaji Bram also Moshe Edamasi P. Indian also more teacher, more Western region and Bronga half region. A lot of you more the comments about teacher phones were more interest here the research allowance inti yembo hong komono mo no this is a social contract inti afebo edaho one of the term mo dia Ghana for I'm sure say bribia say fantasy ekom na yetwe on adwensi so no yebetwe on adwensi so we're going to wrap up on corruption but creative arts for no so fra na one so fra episode ehu one portion as to what the New Patriotic Party ewo Emma wono. But quickly making can be actual and then probably you can wrap up on corruption with this issue of tourism, culture and creative arts. Pamcho munya suna muntie. Tourism, culture and creative arts. The NPP government will focus on transforming the country into a major meeting, incentive, conference, and exhibition center. It goes on to say that we will aggressively develop our tourist sites to bring them to world-class standards, complete with the requisite amenities and facilities, and probably of interest to most of the entertainment industry. Will be pursue the construction of modern large sitting theater in every regional capital except Accra. Beginning with Takoradi, Tamale and Kumasi, as well as setting up an additional copyright office in Tamale to cater for the northern sector in addition to the existing ones in Accra and Kumasi. And establish a creative arts council to coordinate and harmonize the various interests and fragmented associations into a well-functioning body to protect the interests of members, and then collaborate with the private sector interest to acquire the technology and equipment needed to log creative works in order to determine true and deserved royalties. This, amongst others, a lot, no matter what I'm saying, and then pursue a deliberate marketing program to promote our unique historical sites, flora, and others in terms of waterfalls and other cultural artifacts. So, under tourism and culture and creative arts, if you're in the business, creative art business now, that's what the New Patriotic Party ewo at the moment. My wrap up on corruption and what they are seeking to achieve on corruption and what's Kokofu on corruption. The New Patriotic Party raising a lot of issues. I say impact of NDC's mismanagement, incompetence, and corruption on the welfare of Ghanaians. For the vast majority of Ghanaians, the toxic mixture of the Mahama government's mismanagement, incompetence, and corruption over the last 8 years has resulted in an explosion of the suffering in the country. This is purely playing into people's because much of that areas we have. Teachers are suffering. Teacher trainees are suffering. Nurses are suffering. Nursing trainees are suffering. Parents are suffering. Students are suffering. Traders are suffering. Pensioners are suffering. Drivers are suffering. Contractors are suffering. Civil servants are suffering. Farmers are suffering. Fishermen are suffering. Industries are suffering. Artisans are suffering. KIA are suffering. Men are suffering. Women are suffering. Children are crying. What is this? What is this?
What is your opportunity? Mam can change the way. Yes, depending on Hunaman. A teacher for Hunaman.
Amani who you ne?
And yen na Dawson.
Amani who you ne?
And yen na Dawson. A Dawson. A Dawson. She says, see, I know, does it drive or no? She said, until you parking a car or show no tea. Or she say, as Susan pass a yes, and now watching me, you be a 2 petrol more, ma'am. A yeah. A ye pa se ese sabra ya bie suku yi na awofo ntimi nkotua nkoda suku fees no munya akwanya mpo mumma e ye se ye te omam fie nwotwini adwumakuo bie wo omam bie akọ strike bebru mpirenu asemprensa omen akopim se de ne anti bi da ajagefo ne magistrate fo kra adu anwumaguo ye see at your memu near bet jitoa ready pana ho ma fe de condom ne kotokura de dokora ye de taxes beto so ye what in penny sem da bay see at your memu na akwada wanya mfie du mienu mfie du baako na odene se sum na no na okohye homa efise ne ho kire no komte no enti ye ka ho kire na nya ho kire se ne a ebia woni ano ne kodo fufuo na yama na mu nti ne buafu
Ebeba suba wrap up probably in 2 minutes. Just a minute. Numbers no eba be good screen so unyemu kwaya ntempa wrap up out on.
Yeah, we ayi you can forestry there no. Se me die mu a. Se yanka nu adua ho asem a ebe ha. Efi se no beboa ma wiem nsakira ya adwuma na wie peyo. Ebeboa ma yenya nnua a ye ne yankasa ye betimi de aye adwuma. Ebeboa ma nwuma aba. Epise ye wura kofo pen so abre ye de hepiki sika dua nnua na ya osenum da no epic foundation plantation meme nko a mehwe me dua nnua 600 hectares okwa adwira wo.
Hello, good evening. I'm to say
30,000 hectares nnua na ese bedua no
aben wa hasunya is that correct? It is say aben wa
Wani Adom na ma ene na wo mo e.
Jami Adom ko ebrentie nko so ntem.
Me da se pa nyame enka ho papa pana nyame enka Akufo-Addo honorable bafo wiane ame ajeme. Omo usinya nyame si omo papa kala e de bidi a ro ma he
nko so yes.
Di nipa hu si chi omo obuna afo. Na me de me kaniti awase o mantam ba ko betimi aboy this etrimodin pa 2016 ye buna afo. Because you do say be a bar or ba ama obi ahoto no be bo japadi ni sika no bi bia ho bai.
Okay.
Na ba we be ba na ba ma buna fo ye you can jamu akasa ni pe woni pe su di kem na ba fo sika ko ka jamu ba ye ko kwasa na yi na mo fo siri won kan ya dia dia di.
All right, Mama no say Royal Prince wrap up for us. Royal Prince, good evening.
Oma me jo so no pom boko de.
Boko ebreti ai koso.
O mai edika ma me chia ona bo police yen me chia na na nyumre pa o mai ka che yilo kokofu se on kana kuma to no yam na fi Ghana fo be kasa yalum bin mo ye DNDC e chia che but afu we ye ka chile NPP fo no se o mo na Akufo-Addo be ba power because na Akufo-Addo obi a corruption ne kata se de no wompe eti yalum bin ye be ye campaign de ma na Akufo-Addo ama wo ha wona bebele side da Ghana fo so no kania to any
honorable Prince onye NDC member
omai sabe pedia say can say you say sabe pedia say o kwasia na enteji na adwene amehunu ni amani abani me hu say mesika amuchila beto omai so no afu we die omai ne metisa mensa because me twa de ekoso na
it is here. Ebretia, Orokufu. Thank you so much.
Where credit Kakitue? Where the Babu Aqua?
My Bretia.
Yeah,
a lot of questions. One say, but I tell you.
In Kawaki,